We have a major update. Shams recently reported that Mitchell Robinson was going to return from injury in February. However, the Knicks are pushing back against that report. Tom Thibodeau even offers a new update about Robinson, his recovery, and potentially when he can return for the Knicks. We're going to break down all of these latest reports today. But before we get started, guys, about 55% of you watching this video right now are not subscribed to the channel. We are on a mission to try to reach 25,000 subscribers, and we could really use your support. If you enjoy daily Knicks content like this, please consider hitting that subscribe button because it could really support all the great content that we're creating for you. And now, let's get started. The Knicks deny Shams Mitchell Robinson injury report and potential return date. If you guys remember, a few days ago, Shams reported that Jimmy Butler wanted to join the Phoenix Suns. Now, there's a reason I'm talking about this first. If you remember, after that report came out, maybe an hour later, Jimmy Butler's agent calls out Shams, calls out that report, and basically says that report is false. It's fabricated. It is not true. The reason that's important is because now it seems like the Knicks are doing the exact same thing about his Mitchell Robinson report. Before we talk about what the Knicks are saying about Shams, let's first break down Shams' report about Mitchell Robinson and potentially when he can return for New York. As you can see here, Shams initially reported that Mitchell Robinson was unlikely to be cleared to play until at least late January. And then the full report goes into the following quote. Mitchell Robinson, I'm told he's unlikely to get cleared until at least late January into February. So that pushes his timeline a bit. They need to see whether he comes back healthy and can play. Or do the Knicks look at the trade market, potentially to see if they can add another big to come off the bench? Now, that was the initial report from Shams regarding Mitchell Robinson and potentially when he can return for the Knicks. Now, in a recent interview with the media, Tom Thibodeau was asked about that report, and he gave us the following information. Shout out to Zach Braziller with the New York Post for giving us the following information. According to him, Tom Thibodeau on ESPN report that Mitchell Robinson may not be back until February. According to Tom Thibodeau, I haven't heard that. That's what Tom Thibodeau said regarding Mitchell Robinson. He also said that Robinson is progressing, but still not cleared yet for practice. Very interesting that Tom Thibodeau didn't confirm or offer his own date regarding Robinson and when he can come back from that injury. But he did deny the report. He basically said, I didn't hear that. I didn't hear anything about what Shams was reporting regarding Robinson not coming back until February. So what is happening with Robinson? Where is he in terms of his rehab and recovery? That's the real question. Well, shout out to Mitchell Robinson. I don't know if you heard all of these reports, but he definitely gave us an update on where he is in terms of his rehab. Shout out to Mitchell Robinson for posting the following on his IG. As you can see, the first post on the left-hand side of the screen says, y'all want to see my rehab progress? He says with a question mark. This is important for the next video we have to show you guys about Robinson and his recovery. But before we get to that video, let's look at a comment that he responded to regarding a fan on his IG. A fan said on his IG, get on the court, bro. We can't get rebounds. And Robinson responded with, I'm right there, brother, with an OK symbol. Once again, I want to mention, Tom Thibodeau never mentioned when Mitchell Robinson will return for the Knicks. The only thing he basically said was, I didn't hear that regarding the report from Shams. So we have to remember that when we take a look at this next video regarding Robinson and where he is in his rehab. So as we can see here, Robinson is working on that ankle, that leg, his lower body with the leg press machine. And as you can see, the caption reads in this video, that left ankle looked good. So it looks like to Robinson, everything is going according to plan. He is right on pace with his rehab, and hopefully he'll be returning sooner rather than later for the Knicks. But even with all of these videos, all of these images, all the things that Tom Thibodeau said and really didn't say, it doesn't necessarily mean that he's going to be ready and going to be returning very, very soon. But let's face it, rehab is one thing, practice is another, taking contact is another, and returning, being fully healthy and being back for this Knicks team, that's the main goal. That's important. And even though Shams' report was basically denied and shut down, Ian Bagley also did his own reporting on this. And we got to remember, he's a Knicks insider. So if he's saying it, I'm believing it. And Bagley gave us the following update about Robinson and potentially when he can return. Ian Bagley gave us the following update about Robinson's injury and recovery on his latest edition of the Putback Show. According to him, Mitchell Robinson could be out until late January to late February. And what I've been told is the Knicks are not going to rush him back at all. They want him to be fully healthy when he comes back. Tom Thibodeau said recently that he started shooting on the court. I just checked in on the situation, and I was told he is not close to returning. No one in the Knicks organization wants to commit to a specific timetable regarding Robinson and his return. So that tells you something about where Robinson is in terms of his rehab. 3 separate responses. We got Shams that's basically saying Robinson will return late January into February. Then we have Tom Thibodeau basically saying for the Knicks, I haven't heard that. His rehab is going well, and he's progressing well as well, too. Then we see Mitchell Robinson showcasing that rehab, showing what he can do, telling a fan he's on the way. But we still don't know exactly what that means, when he's going to return for the Knicks. And then we have Ian Bagley basically confirming Shams' report, and he went even further than that. He called a source that he has internally with the Knicks organization. And even that source could not commit to a specific timetable for when Robinson can return. Given all of this information and what I'm hearing, I'm going to go with the fact that Robinson will not return until February, early February. I'm going to go with Shams and Ian Bagley here. I don't think Shams has any reason to lie. Bagley definitely doesn't have a reason to lie. But the Knicks, they have some motivation to not tell the whole truth here. We are headed to the NBA trade deadline. The day to make trades starts tomorrow, December 15th. That's when teams like the Knicks can go out there and make trades to make this team better. Precious Achiuwa and his contract becomes trade eligible tomorrow. I'm not saying they're going to trade Achiuwa, but I'm saying the day for trades is coming very, very soon. And it's likely the Knicks understand that if they want to get better as a team, they're going to need better pieces off the bench that they can utilize that when in the game can have an impact. And if they're not going to play the rookies because they don't have enough NBA experience, then that tells me at the deadline, they're going to trade for somebody who's a little bit more of a vet, has that NBA level experience, and can help the Knicks right away. There's not a lot of players on that list. But if I had to choose right now, and I'm thinking of players that are going to be available that the Knicks even have a shot of getting, there's only one player that comes to mind as of right now. And that's Jonas Valanciunas. And the only reason that name comes to mind is because the Knicks own Washington's pick. And because of that, they likely can put up the best trade package out there to land him and get him part of this team. Another reason, Washington, they're tanking right now. Do they care if Mitchell Robinson plays? I don't think they do. Because if he does play, great. If he doesn't play, that's okay too. It's really not going to change where they're going to finish at the end of the season. And then if Robinson comes back and he's healthy and he does what he needs to do and he becomes a force defensively, then maybe they can go ahead and flip him down the road and trade him for something else. I'm not saying that's the motivation. I'm just saying maybe that's the way the Knicks and Leon Rose are going to sell it if they want to try to get Jonas on this team. But that's the only other player I can see them going after and adding to this roster. And even if they do that, Jonas is not an amazing defender by any means, and he's getting older. So that means he plays defense a little bit worse each and every year. However, offensively, he should definitely be able to help you, give you a lot of the same things that Karl Anthony Towns does, but definitely not at the same tier, not at the same level, a little bit lower than that. But still, it's impactful and it can help. The only thing that's going to change the Knicks front office and Leon Rose's mind regarding making a trade is Mitchell Robinson himself, regarding when he actually returns from that injury, how he looks once he returns, and is it going to be consistent with him and his play? If all of those things are true, I don't think the Knicks go out there and make a trade. They probably go out the buyout market and look and see what's available there. The only way they make a trade is if they know Robinson is very, very far away from returning. And as you heard from Ian Bagley, he is not even close to returning right now. Has not practiced, has not been cleared for practice, has not been cleared for contact. All of those things, by the way, take weeks. So if he's not cleared for practice or contact in the next 2 weeks, then absolutely, I put his return date at the very least coming back by the end of January, going into February. I'm agreeing with Shams. I'm agreeing with Ian Begley. Like I said before, there is no motivation for them to lie or fabricate anything. Right now, it makes sense for the Knicks to hold on to Mitchell Robinson, not trade him, and wait for him to return. Whether that's January or whether that's February, the Knicks are likely going to wait because that's honestly all they can do. Robinson has no trade value. And if you're going to trade him for somebody else, you're likely going to have to include pieces that you don't want to include in any one of those deals. That's why it makes the most sense for the Knicks to wait. Unfortunately, it does seem like that wait is going to go all the way to February. The only reason, in my opinion, the Knicks are not confirming that report is potentially to keep their options open if and when a trade comes to their table that they want to execute. But what about you guys? What do you think about the following reports indicating that the Knicks are actually pushing back against the Shams report regarding Robinson and potentially when he can return? As you can see with Tom Thibodeau here, he gave a very short but direct response. I haven't heard that. What about you guys? What do you think about Thibs' response? And when do you think Robinson's going to return? Do you agree with Shams and Ian Begley? Or do you think that Robinson potentially could return earlier than that? Let me know in the comments section below, guys, because honestly, I would love to hear from you. But that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, go ahead and smash that like button, leave a comment below. And of course, guys, please subscribe to the channel. Until next time, Knick fans, take care of yourself, your families, and each other. Peace and love.